Wow, what's good with y'all boys, man? Happy Friday. Actually, matter of fact, what's today? Today Friday. So Super Bowl Sunday probably at this point. So if y'all watching the Super Bowl, you know what I'm saying, then damn. Yeah, camera started wigging out. Anyway, y'all, how y'all doing, man? Happy Sunday and all that, man. If y'all watching the Super Bowl, first of all, y'all be safe. Enjoy it, you know what I'm saying, responsibly. Don't get caught by the boys out there, because you know them boys out there in the whoop whoop. You know what I'm saying? They out there tonight, so be careful, all right? But look, y'all, today and tomorrow, I'm dropping 2 videos now. I know for some people who have been on my Patreon, bro, y'all have seen I have 2 exclusive videos on there too. But today and tomorrow, I'm going to be dropping both of those videos, okay? So today, you guys are getting my new and improved steering wheel settings. Tomorrow, y'all gonna get my new and improved how to tune cars. Okay, now I'm doing everything. I'm doing grips, drifts, all that stuff. Okay, so it's not just gonna be straight drifting. All right, I promise y'all gonna get the best of all worlds. You know what I'm saying? We're also gonna spread into some different challenges and all that different stuff too. We're gonna really get it cracking over here on this channel, bro. But today, y'all, go ahead and sit back, relax. Here's one of my videos straight from my Patreon, right up here onto YouTube. You feel me? All right, squad, what up with it, man? It's your boy 2JZ, and finally, yes, we are starting the 2J driving school. Okay, here I'm going to be teaching you guys everything from tuning cars all the way to driving cars, and even setting up your steering wheels right and everything like that. Okay, now the biggest thing, of course, is setting up your steering wheel correctly, which that's actually the first thing we're going to do. Okay, the first thing I'm going to teach you guys is how to set up your steering wheel correctly. Now, whether you have a Fanatec, Logitech, Moza, regardless of what you have, bro, the settings that I use is going to all around work for the majority of everybody, and then there are going to be little certain fine tweaks that you guys can do depending on what wheel you have. Now, my wheel is, of course, the Logitech G29 that I've been rocking with for years, but I have played with Moza R5s, Moza R9s. I've played with Fanatec Club Sports. I played with the Thrustmaster T300 RS. I played with all different types of wheels, man, and all the settings that I normally use does work in order to convert settings to other people's wheels that I use, or if I go over to my friends' houses, you know what I'm saying, I put the steering wheel settings that I normally use up there. It normally works for everyone, okay? So the first thing that you need to do, first of all, is you need to get G-Hub. If you don't have G-Hub or LGS, you're missing out, bro, and you're missing out on a lot of the maneuverability and the versatility of your wheel if you're not using actual software. Okay, this helps the wheel move better. The force feedback is better. The updates that come through these softwares, depending on what wheel you have, just please get the gaming software that is appropriate for your wheel. Now, me being a Logitech, of course, I'm going to use G-Hub. Okay, so G29, if you guys don't know, you guys can see right here, everything is 50% over here. And then if you go to the steering wheel status, you see I'm using full degrees. Okay, full 900. You want all that up there, and you want that center spring out of here. Okay, don't use the center spring. It's not worth it. And especially if you have force feedback, you do not need the center spring. It's not worth it unless you're doing F1, but that's a whole different other story. To be honest with you, keep them like this. You guys see the pedals, you guys see the steering wheel. Okay, keep that like that. Now go over to your content manager. Okay, you guys are gonna see up here in the top right, it says settings. Go up there, you're gonna go down where it says controls. Okay, here is where you're gonna get into the nitty gritty. You feel me? So you guys can see right here, as y'all can see, matter of fact, I'll go ahead and move this a little bit to the side so you guys can see where my steering wheel is at. You guys can see where the throttle is at. You guys can see where the braking is at. Feel free to pause the video and go back and look. Okay, you guys see where the clutch is at, and you guys also see where my handbrake is at. Okay, these settings right here, go ahead and plug and play them if you wish. If you want to keep a full open dead zone, then just change this from 32 and from 92 to 0% and to 100%. That's a full open. There's no dead zone at all. But be careful if you do that, because if your pedals do become a little finicky, or if they do tend to, best thing to say, if they tend to feel there's some pressure being added to them and they're out of whack right now, it's better to leave that dead zone a little bit closed. That way, if your wheel is still picking up slight movement, or your pedals are picking up slight movement, it won't alter the game as far as your in-playing game. It won't make you throttle and everything like that. So that's why I have the dead zones set to where they are. Feel free to use these as is. Okay, now after you do this, there's another thing that I want to give you guys. So actually, before we get into that, let's go to your force feedback. We got to get your force feedback right. Make sure you're using 100%, okay? 100% on the gain. The filter, I would keep this between 5 to 10%, no more. The curb effects, you do not really need curb effects for drifting, but if you are racing a little bit, you want to feel the road a little bit more, I will put the road effects up just a little bit and the curb up a little bit. But this is for the drifting, okay? So for the drifting, this is how we're setting it up, all right? And then after you do this, you guys need to go over to you need to do one more thing. So you need to go to custom shaders patch, right? You need to go to force feedback tweaks. Okay, here I'm gonna put my settings down below, so you guys can go ahead and download those and plug those in. But the biggest thing on this right here is the output real steering forces to wheel. Please activate that. And for the wheel peak torque, make sure you look up what torque your wheel can take. Now the Logitech G29 is pretty on the weaker side, okay? So I have 2.2 nanometers. I'm sorry, I was yawning. I have 2.2 nanometers, okay, on the steering wheel setup. So that way it is getting the full torque that it can receive without messing up the gyro or anything like that. You can also hit the override car setting. Most likely I will use this if I feel like the force feedback isn't there that much, but to be honest, you don't really need it that much. You just really need to make sure you have this activated. Make sure you hit that save preset. Obviously I saved it as myself, but depending on what you want to do is what you want to do. You save it like that, you're good to go. Okay, so after you do those two things, there's one more thing that you have to do. Okay, one more thing, and it is when you go in game, there is a force feedback controller that allows you to tweak the force feedback of every single car specifically. Okay, so when we come in here in the WDTS 180SX, it's only going to tweak the force feedback for this 180SX. Now as y'all can see, if you go over here to the top right, if it's not there, make sure you hit the all apps, go down, you'll see force feedback controller. Let's find it together real quick because I don't know why, but I think I lost it. Wait a second, where's my force feedback controller? Oh my gosh, there it is. Okay, force feedback gain, you guys see that right there? So the force feedback gain, you click on that, it brings up this little steering wheel emblem that's right here. But if you guys can see right here, it says 176 for this 180SX specifically. Okay, this is for it specifically. Now normally it's going to be at a default of 100. You want to just move this slider on up, on down if you want to. If you want to feel the road effects and the curb effects too, you can do the same thing. But once you set it to where you like it at, make sure you hit that save button. Okay, the save is going to save you. Make sure you hit that save button, lock it in, you're good to go. Okay, you don't even need to do anything else now unless you want to change the whole overall feel of the entire force feedback game. That's the only thing you need to do. But if you want to just tweak each individual car, which is what I do now, I don't even touch the content manager force feedback anymore, then you just go ahead and use that force feedback controller like I taught you. All right, so now that you guys got your wheel setup going, we're gonna switch over and I'm gonna show you guys the tuning aspect of drifting.